What is up, YouTube world? You're on Yak Yak with Jack. That's me. And today, I am here to talk about my third completed game since my return back to the PS2. Which is, drum roll please, The Suffering. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's like, well, Jack, that's just a plain black case. And I know that. The people that I ordered this from said that it came complete with the box art and the game manual. Well, I spent a whole bunch of extra money, and I only got the game. But just to show you, I did still get the game. It still came with the game, but I am a little pissed off that I spent a few extra bucks on, for the box art and the game manual, and I didn't get it. But anyways, that didn't stop me from enjoying the game, Now, The Suffering. Yes. Man, what a great horror game. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, It was everything I remembered it to be back when I played it a while ago. Man, first off, you play as a guy named Torque, who has been sent to prison for allegedly killing his whole family. You don't really know. They don't tell you that. You just progress through the game, and you find out for yourself whether he did it or not. Now, whether decisions that you make in the game affect the outcome of how the story ends, I'm not sure about that. But I do know that different things do happen when you make, say, a bad decision, like you shoot one of the cops or no, not cops, but the COs, the correction officers in the prison that are trying to escape or are trying to defend themselves from these creatures that are just showing up out of nowhere. Beginning of the game, you get put in your cell, and the whole place just turns into hell. Hence the slogan for the game, Prison is Hell. And from what I can see, the game is loosely based, or more or less based, on Eastern State Penitentiary, which is said to be haunted, and it has a huge history of just crimes against humanity, all that kind of stuff. And so it borrowed heavily from it, but the game doesn't take place in Eastern State Penitentiary, because actually they mention in the game that the character you play as, Torque, is was transferred from Eastern State Penitentiary to the prison that's in the game called Abbott State Penitentiary, which is on Carnet Island, somewhere in the state of Maryland. I don't think that's real. I don't think it's a real place. I didn't really actually look into that at all. But, so, yeah, there's so much to talk about with this game, and you try to decide what parts are the most important to mention and what parts can be left out. So I have to say that it's a very atmospheric game. Sometimes you kind of get lost, it wasn't too bad. It's not like one of those games that you just kind of like like, oh, okay, what the fuck do I do next type games, you know, and you just kind of wander around for an hour wondering what the hell you're supposed to do. No, it's not really one of those kind of games. There were a few times playing it that I did get kind of lost, but just through, you know, a little looking around and whatever, it was easy to find my way back on track. And I think one of the most spookiest parts about this game is the flashbacks and the hallucinations that Torque has, you know, during this earthquake, this thing that's going on, well, you know, as he just arrives in the prison, you know. And, um, like, all these creatures start coming out of the walls or whatever, and the whole prison just falls to hell, you know. And you know, you're just, I guess the main point is to try and find a way out, but I think the underlying message is like there is no way, even if there is a way out, there isn't a way out, you know. It's one of those purgatory type deals, you know, until you face what is, you know, ultimately haunting you, dogging you, you know. I think that's what it all is about Torque. What else is it? Oh yeah, the phone calls in the game. That is crazy. Like sometimes random phones will just ring in this game. You pick it up and it's Torque's dead wife or it's one of his dead kids talking to him on the other end. Now, and sometimes the phone's not even ringing. You pick it up and you'll hear something from the past that's happened in the prison, or you'll hear a ghost or something speaking directly to Torque. Now that's crazy, you know. That's I thought that was just awesome, you know. Um, and then you got a whole bunch, you know, everywhere you go in the prison, someone has like put graffiti on the walls and shit. One of them that I thought was really awesome was, it says, "The man in black never played here," which is a reference to Johnny Cash and how he played at the Folsom prison way back when, you know. So I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, so, and I think after 2 playthroughs, yeah, I played it twice, you know. I've beaten it on medium difficulty and hard difficulty. I just finished the hard difficulty today. It's clear what's going on Carnot Island and Abbott State Penitentiary. Just the whole place, the whole island has had just such a terrible history. And at one point it was used as a fort for World War II, and a whole bunch of soldiers were unjustly killed, you know. And then the prisoners came to the island, and a bunch of, I guess a bunch of shit went down there, you know, with the officers and the inmates, and then twisted doctors, and like the whole place has a very dark history, and that's why it's so haunted, you know. The stuff builds up, and so anyways, yeah. Let's see. Oh, what else was there? There was, I don't know if I want to talk about the ending or not, because, you know, I mean, if there's anyone watching this that's never played it, you know, I certainly don't want to ruin it for you. I'll just say that, to hell with it. Okay, I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna talk about the difficulties. Now, I have not played on Impossible yet. I have not played on Impossible difficulty. I just finished hard difficulty today. there was minor difference in the difficulties until towards the end of the game, and then that's where it really started to get hard, and you could tell the difference between medium and hard difficulty. So, but I'm thinking that at some point I do want to give impossible difficulty a try, and because I just want to say that I did it, you know. I want to say, yeah, you know, I beat the suffering on impossible difficulty. Now, I haven't yet, but I want to. So, I think that's something I'm going to tuck away for now and get back to, like that damn bonus mode on True Crime New York City. I am going to get back to that at some point when I'm not so pissed off at it anymore. But anyways, now, I would recommend this game. If you're on PS2, you've never played The Suffering, I would recommend it. I would. Out of 1 to 5 Jack Madrox skulls, I'll give The Suffering 4. Mainly because, now, the reason I didn't give it 5 is because, unfortunately, I have to dock a skull for the glitching in the game. The freezing up. There were a few times in the game where it froze up on me during some of the most inconvenient times, like during boss battles, or just, you know, I've gotten really far and haven't saved. But, however, you do have the option of saving mid-game wherever you want. You don't have to go a long time. Like, you don't have to reach a checkpoint to save your game, nothing. You can save your game anywhere at any time. So that does help. So if you're going to play this game, I would recommend that you save frequently, because it is going to freeze on you a few times. And that was kind of a bummer. And it does get kind of glitchy, you know. Sometimes characters or enemies will just, after you kill them, they'll just stand there and you can walk right through them and stuff. And then sometimes characters that you save in the game, they won't follow you. You know, I thought that was kind of weird. So you got to kind of circle around them or whatever to try and get the glitch to, you know, unfuck itself, you know. And eventually they do. Sometimes they don't. They just stand there and they don't do nothing. I thought that was kind of odd, you know, and I was like, oh, jeez, you know. But anyways, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really take away any of the fun. You know, it just, it's one of those little minor annoyances, you know, that can be a big annoyance to some people, you know. So, yeah, I will rate The Suffering 4 Jack Madrox skulls. It's a good horror game. Play it in the dark. Play that game in the dark. Play it in the dark. Do not play it during the day or with the lights on, because you won't, you know, you won't get the full experience, you know. It's supposed to be like a horror movie. You're supposed to be scared, you know. You play it during the day with sunlight coming in, you know, you're not really going to get the whole experience, you know. Play it in the dark room by yourself, no lights on at night, and you will get scared. Maybe. I know I got spooked a few times. You know, some of them images, they flash up on the screen during the game, you know, of someone with their head torn off, you know, and it's just like, it just goes, it's just like, oh, shit, I wasn't ready for that. So, anyways, that will do it for this episode of Yak Yak with Jack. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and stay spooky, and I'll see you next time.